Well, 3 wins in a row for your team, coming into one of the bigger games of the season, obviously. Team chemistry, how would you evaluate it during this winning streak? Because it seems like every time somebody has slipped or somebody has made an untoward play, the other guy on the other side of the ball has had that guy's back.
Well, it's about building chemistry, and we're halfway through the season, so I really feel the team right now is starting to come together. It's easier to come together during wins than it is during losses. Obviously, players feel a lot better about coming to work. But the bottom line is, we are a work in progress, and we continue to be so. And so every week's its own animal. We're attacking it hard this week, and hopefully the results will be forthcoming. How
would you assess Tommy's leadership these past few games?
Well, I mean, he's a leader out there, certainly, and he's a player that really takes account for his own performance as well as those around him. So, he leads more by example than being a rah-rah type of a guy. He's a tough player. I think around the league people know him as such, and he's really starting to hit his stride at this point in the season.
Is it the kind of thing that can rub off on other guys, especially with certain guys being out and certain other guys having opportunities to step in and fill the supporting roles?
Well, we certainly go with the next man up approach, and we have to be that way because in this game injuries play a part of it. But with Tommy in particular, the way the players look at him, when he's hot, it just resonates throughout the team.
Last week you had to face Aaron Garcia. This week Jason Boltis, 2 guys who in different ways have kind of proven the adage that sometimes age really is just a number. What's the biggest difference, or as the case may be, the biggest similarity preparing for Boltis as you did preparing for Garcia last week?
Well, Jason was my quarterback last year, so I know him pretty well. He's a fiery competitor. He's a very accurate passer. I don't know whether we're going to see him this week or not. I mean, Bernard Morris started for them last week, and Jason's been injured. So we're preparing for both quarterbacks, the possibility to see either one of them. And, whichever one lines up, they're going to be running the same offensive system. So 2 different styles, and defensively we'll be prepared.
How much tougher is it in whichever guy starts, to defend against a quarterback who, as he has demonstrated over the years, really likes to run?
The mobile quarterback's difficult in this game because a lot of what you're doing downfield requires the defensive backs to take their eyes off the quarterback, and now when the quarterback's able to break contain or break up through the pocket, you really rely on your jack linebacker to hold them at bay. So it poses some problems, but at the same time, we've seen it over the years that the running quarterbacks that they do have in this league, we've got to force them to do what they don't like to do, which is to sit in the pocket and deal with the pass rush.
6-3, just looking strictly at bottom line for this particular franchise, it's actually one of the higher of the high watermarks it has had. But is there still that feeling that the best is yet to come?
Well, since I've been here, we've been 6-2, and being 6-3 at the mid-season, I don't hold myself to that standard. I hold myself to a higher standard, and I'm trying to get the players to hold themselves accordingly to a higher standard. And so, being 6-3 at this point in the season only means that we've done a decent job in the first part of the schedule, but we can't falter in the second part. The second part is what separates good teams from great teams and enables us either to get into the playoffs or fail to do so.
And lastly, going back to just the newcomers in general and guys who have come in for other guys who are hurt, do you see them coming into practice and getting it, so to speak, sooner rather than later?
Yeah, a lot of the players that were brought in have been veteran players. So, when you bring in a new player that's been around arena football, I think their eyes open up to the fact that we've got a pretty good ball club and that we're competitive on a daily basis. So that really gets them to step up their game and hopefully, it gets them to gel a little bit quicker with the teammates they have.